In this video, we are going to see about why birds fly in V-shape. First, let's see how birds fly. When a bird begins their flight, the motion of their wings pushes air molecules downwards. This makes air pressure under the wings higher and it creates a low pressure area above the wings of the bird. This difference in air pressure lifts the bird and makes it fly. Before we learn about why birds fly in the V shape, we are going to learn about the main principle behind it. Now, some of you might have already learned about this principle, but let's just brush it up. In this diagram, you can see the low pressure area, which is the land, and the high pressure area, which is the ocean. The low pressure area has lower number of molecules and it is less dense. So the warm air rises from the land and moves towards the high pressure area. Now the high pressure area has more number of molecules and it is more dense. So it creates descending cool air. Now the molecules from the high pressure area will move towards the low pressure area to occupy the empty spaces left behind by the departed molecules. The same principle applies to the bird's flight as well. The molecules from high pressure area under the wings of the birds moves towards the lower pressure area which is above the wings of the bird. This process pushes the birds upwards. Birds also glide because of high pressure area under the wings. Now let's see about how birds fly in V-shape. Well, birds have to put less effort to fly when they fly in V-shape. This is especially helpful when they have to travel long distances. This is because when a bird flies, the tips of both of its wings create a rotating vortex. Now you may ask what a rotating vortex is. Well, a rotating vortex is nothing but a rotating spiral of moving air around the wing tips of the bird. Now the rotating vortex creates specific zones known as the upwash zone and the downwash zone. This first image you can see the motion of the wings of the first bird creates a flow of air which is upwards, which is indicated by the white arrow mark. This now creates a upwash zone. The second image we can see that the motion of the wings of the first bird creates a flow of air which is downwards, which creates a downwash zone. Now carefully keep an eye on the diagram while I explain the process. The bird which is flying in the front forces air resistance, which basically makes the bird move forward and up against the winds. Now this thrusts an enormous amount of force backward and downwards, which is also called as the trailing trip vortex. The bird which is flying behind the first bird flies in the upwash area of the first bird. So basically the upwash of the bird in the front line lifts the bird flying behind it. So the bird behind the first bird gets the lift and flies easily. And do not worry, a single bird does not take all the pain of being the first bird in the V form. They actually, on a rotational basis, take leadership and fly in the front. We all know birds fly long distance during the migration period. They obviously need a lot more energy to fly long distances. When flying in the V-shaped pattern, they spend a lot less energy. Did you know flights use the same principle of birds and fly long distances? Also, flying in V-shape gives clear line of sight for each bird. And also, each bird saves 11 to 14% of energy when they fly in the V shape. Hence why flying in the V shape is beneficial to the birds that travel long distance.